Alright folks, I wanted to do the part 3 of Christmas Comes Early with a few books I got on Christmas Eve, which is technically not Christmas Day, so I can still consider it early. In addition to the gift card that my wife so graciously gave me, I will have more books to buy at Books A Million, $50 worth. But for now, I'll go over some of the books that I got now, which that totally killed the camera. Get some more books that I have here that we're going to talk about. So, without further ado, let's go over some of these. Alright, so the first one is Write, Publish, Repeat by Sean Platt and Johnny B. Truitt. I've heard a lot about this book from people like Joanna Penn and some other self-published indie writers, and they really recommend this book. It's a pretty thick book, actually. I didn't think it was going to be that thick. But I'm glad because this is a lot of resource. I'm already begun it, and they're going to be talking about all the things that they know about self-publishing. These guys, between themselves, published over 1 million words, almost probably 2 million, in 2013. And so this is all their knowledge of creating the self-publishing podcast, as well as doing a lot of ideas in publishing. So I'm really excited to have that. I ordered this, and this came in just a little bit after that Writer's Lab book that I was telling you about that I got. Matter of fact, I got it right next to me so I can show it to you. I think it was Christmas Comes Early Part 1, and it was this book that I showed to you. And I was talking about getting that book in the mail pretty soon. And so, by the way, I've really had fun with this book. I haven't wrote a lot in it, but it's a really cool little book to get you started with some ideas on writing. Okay, the next book I ordered for myself I found in a Books A Million, and really enjoyed that. And it's called Create Your Writer Platform by Chuck Sambucino. I saw this, and it had some really interesting comments and thoughts on creating a platform as a writer. Now, I've kind of created a platform already as a musician and a guitarist on YouTube. But I'm pretty much starting from scratch as a writer. I'm kind of started using Twitter again, and I created my own blog for writing. And so that's a good start. And this is talking about all the different things in becoming a writer. Now, some of the things that we have are the table of contents here. Very interesting topics here. Let's see. Let me make sure I got my viewfinder down here. So this kind of reminds me of Michael Hyde's platform, the book platform. And I really like Michael Hyde's stuff, but this is specifically catered for writers, and I really wanted to get this book. I saw it in the Books A Million, like I said, and really was interested in getting it. And the amazing thing about this book is that I purchased this book. Actually, I purchased this book and the Writers Lab on half.com, HALF.com. It's a subsidiary of affiliate of eBay. It's like a sister company, and they have amazing books. This book was only like 82 cents, and the Writer's Lab was only like $1 something. Shipping and all, both of them were like under $10 for like $4 or something for both of these books. So it was amazing. This one was on Amazon. I got it for like $15. It went up from 12 or so, but I can tell that much reading and that much resources, it's totally going to be worth it. It's going to be awesome. So these are two that I ordered for myself that came in probably last week. And then, other than that, these are the ones I got yesterday. This one is a simple cover, the simple book called Do the Work by Stephen Pressfield. Okay, so it's a pretty good book, and it's I noticed the big domino on the front there. I think this domino project thing is a publishing experiment by Seth Godin, and so I thought about looking into that. I haven't really got a chance to, maybe later. But this is just a little small book, and I'm already halfway through it. I read about half of it yesterday, and it's really easy, quick read, and got a lot of good materials in there. And I'll go ahead and introduce the next book by the same guy called The War of Art. I've heard a lot about this from different writers, and it basically talks about, I like to break through the blocks and win your inner creative battles, and the picture is the flower breaking through that big old piece of brick. So I like the book. It talks about, both of these books talks about what to do when you're faced with what's called what he calls resistance. And basically, whenever you try to do any kind of creative endeavor, you're automatically met with opposition. Okay, so these two books together are kind of complementary. This one is more like cliff notes of this book, but it has a lot of really good information in there. And then this book is the actual book that everybody says to read as well. These two books together are really, really good. I haven't started this one, but I've heard a lot about it. Like I said, it talks about the how we're met with opposition, and we just need to break through those barriers and continue on with our goals and our dreams. And because no matter what we do, it kind of reminds me of the scripture that says, when I would do good, evil is always present with me. I think that's in Romans 7. But Paul was talking about that. But yeah, it's this really has a lot of good information about it. So these two are Do the Work and The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. And the last one I got, I was really excited to see this one, How to Write a Novel Using the Snowflake Method. Now, the Snowflake Method was, I guess, invented by Randy Ingermanson. And he is an actual physicist. He has a degree in I don't even know what that's called, physiology or physics, I guess. And this basically is a some of this is taken from his blog that he has, and it's called advancedfictionwriting.com. And you can look up the Snowflake Method on that and kind of get an overview of what this is. Basically, this is taking a novel and writing it piece by piece. I'm not really sure how he comes up with a snowflake, if it's like a kind of like a fractal thing, or just kind of like a physics thing that comes up whenever you build this novel. But basically, here's the outline of the actual book. He talks about the story and what's your story in one sentence, and then later on it talks about what's your story in one page. And then it talks about what's your long synopsis. So it's kind of building on top of itself. And then you have a summary of the Snowflake Method. And then you have all these other things. Step one, first things first. Write a one-sentence summary. Write a one-paragraph. Write a summary for each character. Write a short-page synopsis. And just all these different things to, kind of make the huge aspect of writing a novel, like, 100 to 90,000, 90 to 100,000 words for a standard novel, breaking that down so that it's actually a lot easier to manage and not be so overwhelming. So I'm really excited to have this book, and I'm really excited to have these other books here that I talked about, and there's a lot of other books on my Amazon wish list that I'll probably be purchasing later on. First of all, I'm probably going to get me a Kindle, and I'll be glad when that comes in, because I've got a lot of ebooks that I already have that people have sent me and that I've had for a while, and it would be nice to have a way to read those when I need to. But the problem is with like this, there's one part in this that I really like, and he talks about research and how it can really hinder in you doing your work, and how research can actually be resistance. And he actually says something like, you're only allowed to read 3 books in your field, and that's it. You need to get to work after that. Only allowed to do 3 books of research. So I think that's pretty cool, because my problem is I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a bunch of other books that I've got and that I'll probably order in the future that I really need to kind of postpone until I actually get my novel finished. And, I need to do more on my novel than just read about it. But that's it for me on this 3rd edition of Christmas Comes Early. As you've seen earlier, I do have a separate, I think I'm going to make this as a separate video because it's already running 10 minutes. But that's my book haul so far for Christmas, as well as the Writer's Lab that I told you about earlier. And I think that's the only other book that I purchased, because the other one was this one. There might have been another one, I'm not sure. But yeah, check these books out and see if you like them, and I'm pretty sure you will. So I'm going to get off here and say Merry Christmas, guys. I hope you have a wonderful, happy New Year as well. God bless, and I'll see you later.